Meltas don't do much to him. If he drops a burst to try to kill the Warp Talons, I kill the burst, then the ACDCs run wild, right? And I couldn't protect all the ACDCs in that corner, so I wanted Rapid Ingress and ACDC. There was a big decision over there when I killed those 2 units, whether I up the Warp Talons. But if I up the Warp Talons, I can't Rapid Ingress both Warp Talons and the ACDC the next round, which is why the Warp Talons stayed there to largely die. I was surprised I had 3, which actually proved really big at the end game, because then I could send them over there and deny more primary.
It's a good recognition to pick that out, and then you have an extra tool or at least something else that he has to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. I was really happy with how that turned out. Glad I saw that play, but yeah, it was close. I mean, the match was much closer than the score.
Right, it's one of those things. And I think that your list probably produces that effect more frequently than some others.
Sometimes. Yeah, but yeah.
Well played, man.
Thank you.
Good luck next.
Thank you.
Back at the main booth, I got my man Zach. Hard-fought game against Arthur, one of the best in the region. Fellow team member from different regions.
Yes, we're in the Ventura. I think he's San Diego or LA.
Yeah, he's right here. Yeah, Los Angeles. And so we were talking a little bit while he was receiving his interview. First thing I did was I congratulate you guys on conflict resolution skills and standing your ground on rules, everyone, and having a good game despite, having a judge at the table once, advocating for what you believed was a certain way consolidation occurred. I want, viewers at home who watch that kind of stuff to understand, like, advocating for yourself is not the same thing as being combative, and you guys, I think, did a really good job of that.
Yeah, I agree. It's really important, especially at, like, when you're both looking at maybe a submarine victory here. We want to be clear the whole time, and that's the first thing you do is, like, is this exactly, do we agree where it's at? Playing by intent is, important, but also where the physically models are is kind of what we were doing too.
Agree.
So it's like, exact space, we agree, then you go forward. It makes life a lot easier for everybody. It makes my decisions easier, and information is better for everyone involved.
Yeah,
so
no doubt. So tell me, do you think you could beat this if you had another chance at it in this mission, or was this just the worst case scenario for you?
It wasn't the worst case scenario. I have the tools to deal with it, and he did a good job of protecting himself from me using the tools the way I wanted without having to give them to me. So I have the burst cannon unit, which it goes sustain 2s, reroll 1's hit, rerolls 1's a wound. I have the math to kill in a full Accursed Cultist unit in like 1 activation. It's not guaranteed. He had one where I left it on like 3 wounds, and he came back, which is a little annoying, didn't do a lot. But he did a good job of making sure I was 18 away every time. So if I wanted to come in, I had to like put the unit in, and then I wouldn't get far enough away, he'd kill me. I have the tools for the tanks. He did a good job of keeping the tanks off the board. I don't know. The secondaries didn't go my way when I needed them to either, which doesn't help, but it was still a pretty significant loss at the end of the day. Maybe on a different board, maybe not linchpin. It was really hard. I had a couple plays where I was trying to get him off his home objective. That just didn't pan out. We pushed OC at one point. I went for like a 9-inch charge from reserve, didn't get it. And then I kind of got stuck over there with Farsight. Couldn't get in, couldn't clear out the Vindicator, which it's just a weird interaction with the way the rules work. If I was a monster, I think I'm fine. But since I'm a vehicle, I can't go through the wall.
Oh, that's what that was about.
Yeah, so if it's WTC rules and GW rules, the monster can fight. He still can't fight through the wall. I just don't really understand the mechanic very well, but I got stuck.
Fellow melee users.
Yeah, I didn't do it as Tau very often, with vehicles especially. So I got stuck kind of in a weird spot, and I was hoping to clear it and then move another unit.
Yeah, I totally forgot those guys are vehicles.
It's a little bit of a problem. I don't know. I think I'd love to play it again to run it back and find out, but I don't know if I do. It was just tough. It's game. So many bodies, and he just scored 50 points on primary.
I appreciate your like honest, candid style and acknowledgement of like the significance of the loss, and you're not even hitting it with like, if these things didn't go, you're like, that was a hard fight. I don't know if I can.
No, I didn't do dice. He had an activation with a Vindicator that probably should have picked up, like. My Melta squad, and it just didn't do anything. Like, stuff like that, like, got me back in the game, and it was just too far to climb back in there.
That makes sense. Well, thank you for being on camera.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Representing, your region of Ventura and
for sure.
XBZ and Cali Cup 2025. Let's kick it to the outro, and we'll see you guys after the break.